Absolute zero is the lowest possible temperature, at which there is no motion and no heat. It is the point on the temperature scale at which a thermodynamic system has the lowest energy. Absolute zero is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. The Kingdom of Great Britain was established in 1707 by the Act of Union between England and Scotland. It is projected that Earth's oxygen will eventually run out, but not for a long time. The estimates vary, but most sources suggest that Earth's atmosphere will maintain high levels of oxygen for the next billion years before dramatically decreasing. Have you ever asked Siri or Alexa who they work for? Marie Curie's notebooks are still radioactive and will be for another 1,500 years. The word America comes from Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian explorer. The name America was first used on a map created in 1507 by Martin Waldseemüller, a German cartographer. He named the new lands America in recognition of Vespucci's understanding that a new continent had been uncovered. The largest desert in the world is the Antarctic Polar Desert, which makes up the majority of Antarctica. Apples, not caffeine, are more efficient at waking you up in the morning. Carbon sugars are a type of monosaccharide, which are simple sugars and the building blocks of carbohydrate chemistry. Overall, monosaccharides play important roles in energy production, structural support, cellular communication, and nucleotide synthesis in the body. The highest point in the Sahara Desert is the summit of Mount Kusi at 11,204 feet in the Tibesti Mountains in Chad. Cleopatra was not actually Egyptian, but rather of Greek descent. Coca-Cola was originally green because of fresh cocoa leaves. The thickness of Earth's crust varies depending on whether it is the continental or the oceanic crust. Here are the average thicknesses of each. The continental crust has an average thickness of about 20 to 30 miles, and the oceanic crust has an average thickness of about 3 to 6 miles. A duck's quack doesn't echo, and no one knows why. Most dust particles in your house are made from dead skin. The atmosphere rotates along with the Earth for the same reason you do. Earth's circumference measures almost 25,000 miles. The euro banknotes on the reverse side have tiny boxes near the bottom and show the Canary Islands and some overseas territories of France where the euro is also used. Vitreous humor is the clear gel that fills the inside of the eye and gives the eye its shape. It is located behind the lens and in front of the retina. Dentists have recommended that a toothbrush be kept at least 6 feet away from a toilet to avoid airborne particles resulting from the flush. The world wastes about 1 billion metric tons of food each year. In glass production, silica-rich sand is the main component of glass. Hair and nails grow faster during pregnancy. The Hayflick limit is a significant concept in aging research because it helps to explain the mechanisms behind cellular aging. The limit is the number of times a normal human cell can replicate and divide before it cannot divide anymore. The oceans act as a massive heat sink, absorbing and storing solar radiation from the sun. This helps regulate the Earth's temperature by preventing extreme temperature fluctuations. there are more historic artifacts under the sea than in all of the world's museums. Honey is the only food that doesn't spoil. There are 195 countries in the world today. This total comprises 193 countries that are member states of the United Nations and 2 countries that are non-member observer states, the Holy See and the State of Palestine. Hydra, an aquatic creature, is the only living creature that never dies. It regenerates, replacing its cells with fresh ones. The most common element in the universe is hydrogen. Thailand is the world's largest exporter of jasmine rice, which is highly sought after by rice lovers worldwide. The concept of gross national happiness was coined by the 4th king of Bhutan. The King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache. Abraham Lincoln was a licensed bartender. The main source of oxygen on Earth is photosynthesis, which is the process by which plants and other organisms use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce energy. Marine plants, such as phytoplankton, kelp, and algal plankton, are responsible for producing the majority of the oxygen in the atmosphere, ranging from 50% to 85%. The capital of Mongolia is Ulaanbaatar. Ulaanbaatar is the largest city in Mongolia and serves as the country's economic, cultural, and political center. Moonquakes are the lunar equivalent of earthquakes. They happen because the moon is still tectonically active, generating moonquakes as our planet creates earthquakes. Moonquakes can be caused by meteoroid impacts, the gravitational pull of the Earth on the moon, or the change in temperature on the surface of the moon. Only 5% of the ocean's floor has been mapped in detail. More than 70% of the Earth's oxygen is produced by the ocean. Emulsifiers are substances that help mix 2 liquids that are usually not mixable, such as oil and water. Approximately 90 tons of oxygen escape from Earth's atmosphere into space every day. It is not a cause for concern at present. The earliest reference to passport documents is found in the Safe Conducts Act, 1414. In 1540, granting travel documents in England became a role of the Privy Council of England. Pearls melt in vinegar. It is physically impossible for pigs to look up into the sky. Plants and trees absorb carbon dioxide. Through a process called photosynthesis, they pull in carbon dioxide and water and use the energy of the sun to convert this into chemical compounds, such as sugars that feed the tree. The first real money online poker game was played in 1998. All polar bears are left-handed. Almost all the rain that falls on land originates from the ocean. The Sahara Desert is home to the Richat structure, which is a geological formation that makes up the most unusual feature of the desert. Rubber bands last longer when refrigerated. Your mouth produces about 1 liter of saliva each day. The Singapore Sling is a gin-based cocktail that was first created in 1915 by bartender Ngiam Tong Boon at the Long Bar in Raffles Hotel, Singapore. Sand is a finite natural resource that takes centuries to form. It is composed of finely divided mineral particles, usually made of silica, which is silicon dioxide, SiO2, and makes up most of the Earth's crust. The skin is the largest organ in the human body and is made up of 3 layers: the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. A snail can sleep for 3 years. The Kármán line is a boundary 62 miles, 100 kilometers, above mean sea level that borders Earth's atmosphere and the beginning of space. Spain has the most bars in Europe. There are more stars in space than there are grains of sand on Earth. Ocean water constantly evaporates, increasing the temperature and humidity of the surrounding air. This leads to the formation of clouds, rain, and storms. Strawberries are the only fruit with its seeds on the outside. Thailand is the only country in Southeast Asia that was never colonized by a European power. Over the course of an average lifetime, most people will spend an entire year sitting on the toilet. Water is made up of molecules, and each water molecule consists of 3 atoms, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. This is why water is often referred to as H2O. A single drop of water contains billions of water molecules. While wood is abundant on Earth, wood is not a common material found throughout the vastness of the universe. Wood is rarer than diamonds in the whole universe. About 94% of the Earth's wildlife is found in the ocean. Ibiza is known for its spectacular sunsets with beautiful orange, red, pink, and purple tones that create a dreamy atmosphere. Sunset Strip is a famous location in San Antonio that features a strip of bars along the seafront, making for a picturesque setting to enjoy food and cocktails and watch the sunset. The Australian state of Tasmania has the cleanest air in the world.